Hello and welcome. I am Scrapperlock, and this is City of Heroes on the private server Everlasting. We are once again with Silver Phoenix, our martial arts scrapper, and we are trying to stop an assassination by some shadowy individuals whose name hasn't been told to us. I suspect it'll either be Cray or Malta, but it could be just about anybody. This mission was given to us by Indigo and Crimson, who seem to be sort of secret agents. Who's in here? So this is Malta. Alright, so one of the things we gotta watch with Malta is we've got to make sure, and this is a +2 mission, we've got to make sure that we get their sappers if there are any. I don't see any sapper here, but there could be one up above, so hopefully we'll take this guy out really fast. Yep, somebody else is shooting me from above, but it's not a sapper, thankfully. Yeah, +3 sappers, that's pretty dangerous. Because if they hit you and they drain your endurance, it's big trouble. Now, if these guys are going to be red, we're going to be chowing down experience so fast on these missions. That is a purple lieutenant, operations officer. Is there anybody near him? You can see, so it's a gunslinger, how cautious I'm being, not just because they're purple, but because they are, because I gotta watch out for, you want to watch out for the sappers, and I really like the fact that these guys, like the sappers, are just minions, and yet you have to actually be careful of them, which is pretty cool, and it forces you to be a little tactical and pay attention to what's going on. Now the rest of these guys aren't that dangerous, although the gunslinger's kind of cool looking. So the rest of these guys are not that dangerous, but the sappers are, and if the sappers hit you with the endurance drain and they suck all your endurance away, I don't see any sappers in here. If they hit you with the endurance drain and they suck all your endurance away, then the other guys will beat up on you. I'm mostly avoiding KBing that guy because I wanted to take him out first. Yep, and they're trying to mez me, but not going to work. I have practice brawler. Let's knock him over. Okay. And we'll finish him up. Now that also, I think, drains some endurance. Maybe it does a stun, I'm not really sure. There's another tactical operative. But you can definitely see, and by the way, I'd be doing this even if these guys were oranges, yellows, or even whites. Now, maybe not with whites, but pretty much no matter what the level, it's not just because they're reds, although reds definitely make it more dangerous. There's the sapper. Oh, somebody saw me. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Sappers are so bad that my rule is they're just going down, and they're going down hard. So I'm just going to come in here and hit this guy so hard and so fast, he's not going to know what hit him. Now, I think he shot at me and missed me. I'm not sure if he's the one that missed me. If it was, oh, see, those guys can throw down a, like an auto turret, and those things are very accurate. Yeah, look at that, it keeps hitting me. Yeah, those auto turrets are no joke. They're worse than a lieutenant. And look, we can look for a second at the 2 hit rolls. %61 chance. The auto turret had a 61% chance. The gunslinger had a 48. So the auto turret has like a 13 or 15% higher chance to hit than equivalent lieutenant, and therefore it's like 25% chance higher chance to hit than a minion. So we completed this mission, and we can head out. Let's see if we can call Indigo. We might have to go straight to her. That was actually a really quick mission. Yeah, we're gonna have to go to her because we've never actually returned, actually gone back to her before. And usually, no matter what you do, you always have to go back to them at least once. No matter how much friendliness they have, right? Normally, this would give us the cell phone number, but ordinarily you have to go back to them at least once. Did I get any enhancements that time? No. That's 2 missions in a row. I have not gotten a single enhancement. It's very unusual, especially when you're fighting so many lieutenants, because lieutenants have a much higher chance, or slightly higher chance to drop enhancements and other rewards than a minion, and bosses have even higher chance. We beat 2 bosses and like 6 lieutenants, and we haven't gotten a single enhancement. That's really strange. Very unusual. There's no chatter today on my supergroup chat. They've announced a roleplay session for about a week and a half from now, so I'm pretty hyped to do that. I enjoy roleplay sessions, and especially these guys, they're a lot of fun. I've been enjoying being on the Discord with them and stuff. They're all really nice people. So, she says, I think you had a pretty good day, Silver Phoenix. Not a bad way to get started working with the mystery people, huh? You hurt Cray and saved a man's life, and that's just a start. If you want to keep working with me, I'm sure there'll be many, many more things to do. So this is weird, introduced me to a new contact, Angus McQueen. I remember doing him. He's an FBI agent who was attempted to be turned into a Richter. And then missions. And there's a story arc. Melvin and the Mysterious Malta group. So this is going to be rough because it's going to be against the Malta. So this should be a lot of fun. I think we're going to keep our mission set to +2 because Maltas are tough. And, I just don't want the penalty against +4 sappers. They suck your endurance down and then you die. So, Crimson and I need your help with something important. Our friends have kidnapped someone, a contact of ours, though he didn't know it. Our contact's abduction caught us by surprise, which is bad enough. But if our friends figure out that he's associated with us, well, it could get bad. We think our contact is still alive, but if Crimson or I were to make a move to save someone, this someone, it could tip off our friends to just how much he might actually know. In which case, he wouldn't be alive for much longer. Now, like a lot of these kinds of things, I can't tell you much about who the person is, or why he was taken, or what he might know. It's safer that way. I can tell you that if you can't rescue this particular someone, he won't survive very long in our friend's care. When events like this start, they usually carry through to a potentially nasty end. This could be the start of a chain of events with a very tragic ending, unless you can save that man. Now, one of the reasons that little paragraph was put in is because originally the title of the story arc was not given at the beginning when you got a story arc. This just seemed like a normal mission, just like this one is. And so this was to hint to you that you're starting a story arc. So she says, thank you, Silver Phoenix. The first thing to do is go and meet with Crimson in person. He's been following the situation closely and has been working on cover fictions. I know we ask for a lot of trust from you, Silver Phoenix, and I'm very glad you've been willing to give us that trust. This is one of those situations where the less we tell you, the better for everyone. Of course, if you pay attention and learn to read between the lines a bit, you could learn a lot about what's going on here. So, now we have to meet with Crimson again, so back to Peregrine Island. So we hit the train station, which is over here somewhere. There it is. And then we move on to Peregrine Island. Well, Talos first, and then Peregrine. So, Talos Island. And then over to the ferry. So there's a bit of running around. Um, it's a little unusual, actually, to have a contact send you to a contact who then sends you to a mission. But I actually don't mind it because I really like the whole feel of like the James Bond espionage that they've got going on here, and secret agents, and you're sort of like almost like you're on the Secret Avengers with Captain America. It's pretty cool. Alright, back to Crimson. I don't know who this superhero is. I don't know. There's no plaque to tell you who she is. Alright. I'm glad you agreed to help us on this one, Silver Phoenix. I'm sure Indigo told you that we can't give you a lot of background on this operation, but I'll tell you what I can, outline the plan, and send you on the way. First thing, the man you're looking to rescue is named Melvin Langley. Second, he's been grabbed by the Knives of Artemis. Oh man. And finally, we think that he's being held by a warehouse out in Kings Row. I hope you understand that from the moment you start, you're going to be operating in dangerous territory, so we're going to probably get ambushed by the Knives of Artemis. You're going to go up against some bad people with no compunctions about silencing anyone who crosses them, and I hope you can find Melvin. He doesn't deserve to have this happen to him. So the Knives of Artemis. I recognize the name. I remember they were like basically really evil scrapper, stalker, assassinators. I don't... Oops. I don't remember if they're their own faction or if they just work for the Malta. I feel like they weren't a full faction, but they just worked for the Malta, but I could be wrong about that. I haven't fought the Knives of Artemis in probably 12 or 13 years. I remember they were pretty brutal. And I think they were especially brutal to people like blasters and controllers back in the day, before inventions came out, before sets came out, when they didn't have mez defense and stuff like that. And these Knives of Artemis are basically scrappers, so they can stun you and mez you and knock you down and things like that. And they look like ninjas, I believe. But we'll find out. I'm surprised they haven't ambushed me yet. So it's kind of hard for them to ambush me when I'm super jumping, unless the ambush comes right as I zone in. They're just never going to catch me. I hope I'm not leaving an ambush behind to aggro to somebody else. Alright, so mission right here. Select task. And here we go. Alright, so we go back to combat jump. And we got our toggles on. And in we go to challenge the Knives of Artemis and the Malta group. So +2 knives are going to be, they're going to be fun. So this is definitely fun. I like that they ramped up the challenge. These are Knives of Artemis. Mercenaries. Well, they're only orange, so they should be alright. Alright, here we go. Yep, they have stealth. And they throw down call drops, which I always hate, because it slows me down and stops me from jumping. And they have ranged attacks and melee attacks, and look how hard they are to hit. But I'm a scrapper, right? So I do what they do, and I do it better. Oh, one of them saw me. One of the few primarily female groups. If you remember way back at the beginning, we were fighting skulls. I said, oh wow, you know, they've made female skulls. That's new. It used to be that the skulls were male only. The Knives of Artemis used to be female only. I think they and the Carnies were one of the few that were sort of dominated by female characters. Now, the thing with Knives of Artemis is I don't think they have the full range of oh gosh, I don't know which way to go here. I don't think they have the full range of various different minion types that a lot of the other enemies do, like the carnies or the skulls. They're mostly just hired killers, I think. I'm gonna go ahead and wait for focus chi here, and then move pound. Yep, double call drops. That's great. Slowing me down. You can see how much harder these guys are to hit. It would help if I weren't clicking the wrong buttons. Look at that. So what's my chance to hit these guys? I have a 38% chance to hit them. Yeah, they're rough. Right? Again, you're fighting another scrapper. So we have to rescue Melvin. This one didn't aggro. They pretty much... So these guys are like Sue on steroids in terms of their abilities. They're like a much more powerful version of that Sue. But again, I'm a way better scrapper than they are. So... And I don't mean I personally, I mean my character is a better scrapper than they are. But you can see, whereas most mobs would have, most spawns of enemies would have a bunch of different mob types. Skull Crusher and Skull Chopper and Gravedigger Crusher and Headman Gunman and Headman Swordman. Pretty much all we're seeing in the knives is mercenary, mercenary, mercenary. Right? Because they're basically just hired knives, hired killers. Wow. Yeah, for red cons it's very hard to hit, especially when they're stealth. So these guys are, I guess, rather than stalkers, they're more like, or rather than scrappers, they're more like stalkers. Although I don't know if stalkers existed when they first put Knives of Artemis into the game. But you can see how much harder it is to hit them. Right, because they're basically like super reflex scrappers with stealth and everything. And it wreaks havoc on your endurance because it takes like 7 or 8 attack chains to defeat them because they're so dodgeful. Alright, we're still going this way. Yeah, more +3s. I think this is pretty clear. We shouldn't be operating at +3 if we're going to get +3s in these missions, because if I set the mission to +3, these guys would be +4 and they would be really awful. Now I was trying to jump there and I couldn't because caltrops prevent you from jumping. They basically suppress your movement powers. Alright, so I'm going to need to take a knee here. Yep, they're very accurate, and they're very hard to hit. Okay. And it does not help that they're red. I thought somebody else was striking me from over here. I was trying to make it sure it wasn't a 4-person spawn. And by that I mean a spawn of 4, not a spawn designed for 4 people, for 4 players. Oh man. Guess I should have brought some more yellow pills into this mission. But I'd rather have forgotten about the Knives of Artemis. Yeah, but every one of them's mercenary. So there's like no other types. Throwing stars, caltrops, ninja swords. Yeah, I forgot all about this faction. Malta I remembered, but Knives of Artemis I forgot about. And you can see how much easier orange is than red, too. Although I'm still missing a lot. The stealth one. I hate messing with that. Alright, now we have some evidence. We still gotta find Melvin Langley. So we got a clue. And the clue says, though you didn't find Melvin Langley himself, you did find what appears to be his personal laptop. There are notes about what he was working on when... I'm sorry, I was glancing at something else. There are notes about what he was working on when he was abducted. It appears that he was researching the Might for Right Act in the 1950s. Might for Right Act, passed 1956, declared unconstitutional in 1967, is written as a special case draft for metahuman American civilians. Intelligence community feared metagap between Eastern and Western powers. The weird thing, though, the records show a lot of people drafted, but I can't find many service records in the military intelligence community. Records show a lot of the agents went MIA or KIA years 1948 to 56, right before Might for Right. Then major intelligence turnaround, Might for Right at work. So we have somebody talking on the supergroup chat. Is there something we're supposed to say? So I'm going to say maybe ni hao. Hello. Mind Mel. I don't know what that is. Alright, so this is going to be oh. We have a double boss. Malta and a Knives. Alright, this is going to be rough. And I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to take out the other guys first. Let's see. No, it looks like I'm going to have to fight these guys with the others in as an audience. So I'm going to be very careful about where I do knockback. And this looks like another elude pop. Yeah, I figured she was going to go stealth. Yeah, I'm going to start missing her now. Oh, I moved this thing. Fortunately, elude's working pretty well. Good knockdown there. No, I am not going to follow her. I'm going to make them follow me, actually. Come here. Follow me. Alright, we got you. Focus chi. Gotta be very careful with this elude buff to movement, because it's really easy to overshoot. Where's the other boss? Come on. There he is. Alright. Good knockdown, that's what we want. Paradox Black Alpha. Man, he does a lot of damage. Okay, we got them both. Okay, while loot's still running, let's go ahead and fight these guys. I guess this is a defeat all, since it's not, oh, this is going to be brutal. I guess this is a defeat all since it's not completing. You can see that, however, I can stand in against these guys and pretty much kick their butts. I don't know if I'm going to beat him before the 3 minutes is up, though. But that's what luck is for. Alright. Got a bunch of them. Finally got an enhancement. Yeah, that was pretty good. That was almost like tanking. So, alright, we gotta go somewhere else now. Turn the toggles off so that they're recharged by the time. Oops. Okay, yep, it just ended. So we gotta go that way, but we gotta wait until the recovery starts. So you can see that elude was well worth it. We floored everybody, and they could not hit me. Alright, our toggles are back. And now we do our normal combat against these guys. As soon as we're done resting, here we go. Wow, I'm almost 41st level just from these couple of missions. See, this is the problem with fighting a lot of reds and purples. They give you massive amounts of experience. So it's not necessarily a lot of experience per minute compared to, say, fighting yellows, but it's a lot of experience per mission. And it means that we do less missions before we level up. We just started doing the first level 40 story arc. And we're already almost level 41. I guess we gotta beat these last few guys. Aha, I didn't even see you there. Little stealthy mercenary person. And if I remember right, I had a friend who I think it was a villain named Shivan, and I believe she was a former Knives of Artemis. Oh god, this missing is so horrible. And there we go, mission complete. So we didn't rescue the guy, but we got a clue. And we finally got an enhancement. Alright. And we get another clue. She says, they moved Melvin before you even got there. There was nothing you could do, Silver Phoenix. So you shouldn't blame yourself. I don't. Melvin may still have a chance. It's likely they don't really know what he knows, or how many people he shared it with. They'll keep him alive while they try to clean up the situation. That still gives us a chance to stop them before Melvin or other people get hurt. I'll try to find out what they're planning to who they're planning to target next. And yes, by clean up, I do mean they're going to kill a lot of people. That's why we have to stop them. Okay, I think we're going to stop here tonight. It's been about a half an hour. I think that's long enough. I hope you enjoyed it. I am Scrapperlock, and this has been City of Heroes.